Well, it appears that the Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia fight may not take place this year, and instead it may take place in 2019. What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. Showtime head guy Steven Espinoza says that it is just not feasible to have two pay-per-view events that close together, and it's just not going to likely work out. Both Errol Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia want to come back before the year is up and fight. Of course, Mikey Garcia has stated on numerous occasions, especially leading up to his fight with Robert Easter Jr. that took place last month, that he wanted to step in the ring with the highly avoided IBF welterweight champion, and Errol Spence was receptive to that. He said he wanted to make that fight happen. He can't get anybody else in the ring, so that would be the most logical fight in terms of a monetary standpoint for him. But with Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury likely being in November, that puts the potential fight between the two men off into next year. You got to take into account, Steven Espinoza knows that the Canelo Alvarez Gennady Golovkin pay-per-view is happening in 3 weeks? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, 3 weeks. Then you got Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, and that's happening around Thanksgiving time. People are already gearing up for not only Thanksgiving, but Christmas and the New Year. So money is going to be strapped, and they want to get the most bang for their buck as possible. Is it possible to stack the undercard of Wilder versus Fury? Yes, but with those guys getting, big money, what money would be left for Spence and Errol that will satisfy them to appear in the co-main event of that card? On that card. So while this may be disappointing to some people, to me it's not, because honestly this fight isn't something I wanted to see just because of the size differential. Now, it would be one thing if Mikey Garcia was coming up from 140 to 147, then I'd be like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Even though you got Crawford, Thurman, the Garcia-Porter winner that you would prefer face Errol Spence next, but you got a formidable top 10 pound-for-pound fighter in Mikey Garcia moving up from 140 to 147 to challenge Spence. That is more than an acceptable fight. But now that, that's not the case with him coming from 135 all the way up to 147, that takes the appeal off of the fight, in my opinion. That's just speaking for me. But, when you can't make the fight, you can't make the fight. Because he's looking at it from a business standpoint and a monetary standpoint. They in the money-making business, not the, just put on the best fights just to put them on, because they won't see a profit. They won't see a profit because you expected people to pay for Canelo Golovkin, and then a couple months later, 3 months later, or a couple months later, pay for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Then, less than a month later, pay for Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence in a fight that is considered a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really appealing about this fight. I give Mikey Garcia a slim chance to, pull off the upset because he is a great fighter. He's very skilled, and he's confident in his abilities. But the size, strength, and the talent of Errol Spence would be too much. So I think that this fight will not end up happening. I mean, it could happen. They could agree to a deal for later on, early first part of 2019. But honestly, I think by that time, the outcome of Porter versus Garcia will really shift the focus of Spence to that potential matchup with those guys. And that is a fight that I see him pursuing, nonstop, because that will get him closer to his goal of being the undisputed welterweight champion. He will collect potentially that WBC scrap off of either Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, and that would set the focus back on Keith Thurman, who is the WBA welterweight champion. And then if he can take care of that business, or whoever take care of that business, they can set their sights on Terrence Crawford, who is the WBO welterweight champion. So I think that this is a blow to the chances of that fight actually happening at all, because I think that at the end of the day, if the fight ain't gonna happen this year, it makes no sense to happen at all, because the only way that Errol Spence was going to get a pass for this fight is because Thurman is still on the sideline with injuries. Terrence Crawford just won his WBO strap from Jeff Horn, is going to face Jose Benavidez, and that is a fight they're looking to build up for next year, maybe 2020. Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter winner they're not gonna return later on this year. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight and be out of the ring until 2019. So that leaves him no, champion to face, and no really credible opponent at 147 that the fans will want to see him face. So that is the only reason this fight was made acceptable, in my opinion. And now that Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury has been made and will take place on pay-per-view in November, likely in Las Vegas, there's no need for this fight. He can Errol Spence can face Dennis Ugas, who is close to being his mandatory for that IBF title, or he can face Andre Berto, who defeated Devin Alexander. Stay busy, get some work in, and make the third defense of his title, and then set his sights on the aforementioned guys that I just mentioned, who holds titles at 147. So we have to see how it plays out. Leave your comments in the comment section down below, giving me your thoughts. Check the description for links to social media, the new YouTube channel I got with CJ Goodfellow from the Boxing Clinic and more, and Cali from the Cali Enigma Show, College Sports Most Wanted, S12, S10, where we will be covering high school sports, college football and basketball, and everything related to college sports. Shout out to everybody in the movement that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information. And shout out to the LDBC and everybody in between that's doing their thing on the boxing grind. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.